Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Sunday, June 14th, 2015, around 3:29 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. The sun's out, and it's in the low 80s in Billerica, Massachusetts. And get out and enjoy it, because tomorrow it's going to be raining out and only in the 60s. Some news to report. The new movie Jurassic World is the box office winner in the United States. It grossed over $200 million its first weekend. Wow, that's amazing. And also, NBCSN's number 2 NHL play-by-play announcer Dave Stragler has signed a contract to become the new TV voice of the Dallas Stars on Fox Sports Southwest. And good luck to Dave. Dave was before the TV voice of the Red Wings and the Coyotes and the Panthers. And that's about it on news. My second video blog subject of the day is about why the Detroit Red Wings, a National Hockey League team, should move back to the Western Conference of the NHL. Currently, the Detroit Red Wings play in the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference of the NHL. They've been in the Atlantic Division since the 2013-2014 season. Before, the Detroit Red Wings were based out of the Western Conference Central Division for many years, and before it was the Norris Division and stuff. And the Detroit Red Wings wanted to move to the Eastern Conference because they wanted to have most of their games to be played in the Eastern time zone. When they were in the Western Conference, they were the only team besides the Columbus Blue Jackets who had Eastern time zone playing the Western Conference, and the Detroit Red Wings wanted to go to the Eastern Conference. Even though they really wanted to go to the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Red Wings, I really don't like them in the Eastern Conference because they don't have too many rivalries in the Eastern Conference. They have a good rivalry with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They played the Winter Classic in 2014 and stuff, but after that, the Toronto Maple Leafs, it feels strange for them to be in the Eastern Conference. They don't have a rivalry with the Boston Bruins or the Montreal Canadiens and two other Original Six teams in their division, Atlantic Division. And also, for years, the Red Wings had strong rivals in the Western Conference, especially with the Chicago Blackhawks. They're like another Original Six team. They always would have great playoff series against them, and they would play maybe 4 to 6 times a year. It feels very strange for the Red Wings and the Blackhawks to play only 2 times a year. One on the road, one at home. And also the Red Wings, when they were in the Western Conference, they all developed a lot of other rivalries, like with the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars and stuff. And during the time the Detroit Red Wings were in the Western Conference, the playoff series, they played every Western Conference team in the playoffs at least one time, except for the Minnesota Wild. And they had great rivalries with these Western Conference teams in the playoffs and stuff. And it was probably, and the Detroit Red Wings, felt they should be in the Western Conference of the NHL and stuff like that, in my opinion, because it's rivalries that the NHL should have, promote them more often. And the Eastern Conference isn't a great fit for the Detroit Red Wings, but they really wanted to be in the Eastern Conference for many, many years beforehand, pushing the NHL many times for it, but the NHL kind of backed off on that until the Atlanta Thrashers moved to Winnipeg to become the new Winnipeg Jets. And then they had to move the Detroit Red Wings to the Eastern Conference along with the Columbus Blue Jackets. But there's a possibility of when this Arizona Coyotes thing gets squared away, and I'm telling you the truth, the Arizona Coyotes should not be in the desert Southwest. They should be in a hockey crazy city like Hartford, Connecticut, or Quebec City, Quebec. If the Coyotes move east, then you're going to probably see the Detroit Red Wings move back to the Western Conference of the NHL, because that's what I think is should happen. But I don't know if the Detroit Red Wings will want to move back to the Western Conference, but they should be in the Western Conference because of all those rivalries and stuff like that. Keep the Columbus Blue Jackets in the Eastern Conference because they're actually a little more east than the Detroit Red Wings and stuff. But we'll wait and see. In that you can move the Detroit Red Wings back to the Central Division, and maybe move the Colorado Avalanche from the Central to the Pacific Division to replace the Coyotes, who will move east to either Hartford or Quebec City. Plus, they're going to have 2 more teams in the NHL for expansion teams because in the near future, because the NHL really wants the $500 million for both expansion teams, $1 million in their pocket, even though that's bad. Because 32 teams is a lot too much, but they're going to take the $1 billion the owners divided among themselves and stuff, and that's about it on the debt. And I'll be back for the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about former WWE Diva and Women's Champion Molly Holly. Have a good day, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Bye now.